16 of the fantasy baseball season, and here's a few pitchers I'd look to sell high and trade away this week. The first guy is Kwang Heng Kim of the St. Louis Cardinals. So last week I recommended him as a sell high guy, and once again I'm going to do it. This guy's come out of nowhere over the last month or two for the Cardinals, and fantasy owners have picked him up in this time. So on the season here for Kim, 84 and a third, 6-5 record, 71 hits, 27 earned runs, 6 homers, 28 walks, 67 strikeouts, 2.88 ERA, a 1.17 WHIP, and 5 quality starts on the season. And the last couple weeks here, 2-0 record in 12 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 8 Ks, a 1.5 ERA, and an 0.67 WHIP. So right now, Kim, he's going out there and he's pitching real well for this Cardinal team. That's definitely emerged over the last couple weeks here, ever since the All-Star break's been over. So Kim, he was a pickup of week 14 or week 15, I believe, and now his percentage of ownage is at 71. And right now, I know he's pitching great, but this is a perfect sell-high time for Kim owners, because we don't know how long it's going to last, and I think this is the best you're going to get from him. So if you could get a good power hitter or another pitcher for him that you think is going to end up the season better, this is the time to do it. The last few outings for Kim: July 10th at the Cubs, 6 innings, got the win, 5 hits, 1 walk, 7 Ks, no runs given up, 1 whip and a quality start. July 17th versus the Giants, 6 innings, got the win, 3 hits, no runs once again, 2 walks, a K, 0.83 whip and a quality start. And July 22nd versus the Cubs, 6 innings, got the win, 2 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 7 Ks, a 3 ERA, 0.50 whip and a quality start. And his next outing is here tonight at the Indians, where I expect him to pitch well. So if you're a Kim owner, you wait out for the start tonight, and then you go out there, put him on the trade block, and see if you could pull off a good deal here and sell him high. The next pitcher is Tywin Mcgill of the New York Mets. And Mcgill, a recommended ad off the waiver wire this week. But I just don't think he's a guy that's going to keep it up for this Met team. And for fantasy owners that picked him up over the last few weeks here, Mcgill, he's been an out-of-nowhere prospect for this Met team. It wasn't even in their top 20, I believe, in the farm system. On the season, 30 innings, 1-0 record, 23 hits, 7 earned runs, 3 homers, 10 walks, 33 strikeouts, a 2.10 ERA, and a 1.10 WHIP with 2 quality starts. In the last couple weeks here, 12 innings pitched, 1-0 record, 9 hits, 1 walk, 7 Ks, no runs given up, 0.83 WHIP. So right here, I just don't see it for Mcgill lasting this long with these great numbers. I know teams really haven't seen him, but now as he's going to start pitching more and seeing teams more, this will be the 3rd time here tonight he sees the Atlanta Braves, and we'll see if he can pitch well versus them. In his first 2 outings versus them, June 23rd in his first start, 4 1/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, a homer, 2 walks, 4 Ks, a 4.15 ERA, 1.15 WHIP. And then June 29th at the Braves again, he went 5 innings, no decision, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, a homer, 2 walks, 8 Ks, a 5.40 ERA, and a 1.40 WHIP. So right here, McGill's been pretty solid the last 2 out of 3 outings. July 10th versus Pittsburgh, 3 2/3, 4 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 7 Ks, a 2.45 ERA, a 1.91 WHIP. And July 17th at Pittsburgh for the 2nd time, 6 innings, no decision, 7 hits, no runs, 2 strikeouts, 1.17 WHIP, and a quality start. And then July 23rd versus a great Toronto Blue Jay offense, 6 innings, got the win, 2 hits, no runs, a walk, 5 Ks, 0.50 WHIP, and a quality start. But I don't think he's going to keep it up. And hey, if you could trade Mcgill for a low-end batter or something, I think it's a deal that definitely could come to fruition and get done. I just don't think he's going to keep these numbers up. It's been a great story, no doubt about it. But right now, this Met team, they're not really hitting the baseball great. I know they're in first place, but this Brave team so far to start this series have been hitting the ball pretty well, especially with 12 runs last night. So we'll see if Mcgill could pitch good here tonight versus this Atlanta team. And if he does, then it's a perfect time to sell him high, because as more as the league sees him, I think it's going to be harder for him to keep these numbers up, especially not giving up runs in his last 2 outings. The next pitch is Patrick Sandoval of the Los Angeles Angels. So Sandoval, he came close to a no-hitter versus the Minnesota Twins in his latest outing, going 8 1/3, give it up no hits. And he was another recommended to pick up this week here on the waiver wire. But hey, if you could pick a guy up and then flip him in a trade for something that's more consistent and a better player, why wouldn't you doing it? On the season here for Sandoval, 71 2/3, 3-4 record, 53 hits, 28 earned runs, 10 homers, 26 walks, 81 strikeouts, a 3.52 ERA, 1.10 whip, and 4 quality starts. So Sandoval, he's not on the greatest of teams, obviously. This Angel team, it's been a struggle for them over the last 4 or 5 seasons with their pitching, besides Ohtani this year. But right here, he's pitching well. But the only downside on him, he's not going deep into games, really. Only 4 quality starts on the season the last couple weeks for Sandoval. 15 2/3, 1-1 record, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 homers, 2 walks, 22 strikeouts, 2.87 ERA, and a 0.57 whip in a quality start. So right now, his walk to strikeout ratio is very good, and he's controlling the baseball and pitching well with Sandoval. And even his strikeout rate has gone up the last 3 games. July 10th at Seattle, 7 innings, tough loss, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks at 2.57 ERA, 1.14 whip in a quality start. July 18th versus the Mariners, 7 innings, got the loss, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 homers, a walk, 9 Ks, a 5.14 ERA, a 1 whip. And then July 24th, like I mentioned, he came 2 outs away from a no-hitter at the Minnesota Twins. 8 2/3, obviously got the win. 1 hit, 1 earned run, a walk, 13 strikeouts, a 1.04 ERA, and a 0.23 whip in a quality start. So after a masterful start like that, it's a perfect time to sell a guy high. Anytime a guy throws a great complete game or goes deep into a game, a no-hitter or perfect game, while his value's at its all-time high and peak, it's a perfect time to sell him off. And I think that's a deal you could do here with Sandoval. And he's not in the greatest of divisions, where a lot of those teams in the AL West don't really hit the baseball great. And he's another guy, for all we know, could be traded at the deadline. But right now, he's slated to start July 30th versus the Oakland Athletics. But right now, if I could trade him off after that big one-hitting outing versus the Minnesota Twins, this is definitely a time to do it. The next pitcher is Luis Castillo of the Cincinnati Reds. So Castillo, it's been a tale of 2 different pitchers for him this season. Early in the year, he's one of the worst pitchers in all of fantasy baseball. Now he's back to form over the last 2 months about of the season. On the season, though, his total numbers still aren't great. 115 2/3, 4-10 record, 110 hits, 54 earned runs, 10 homers, 51 walks, which has been an Achilles heel for him this season. 113 strikeouts, a 4.20 ERA, a 1.39 whip, and 9 quality starts. But the last couple weeks for Castillo, 13 innings, 1-0 record, 10 hits, 1 earned run, 6 walks, 17 strikeouts, an 0.69 ERA, and a 1.23 whip with 2 quality starts. But the last month is where he's really kicked it into gear. 31 2/3, 1-0 record, 21 hits, 6 earned runs, a homer, 16 walks, 33 strikeouts, a 1.71 ERA, and a 1.17 whip with 4 quality starts. So Castillo, he's pitched definitely well over the last 5 or 6 starts of the season for him. But right now, I don't know which Castillo is going to show up. Like I said, we've seen 2 different pitches this season. And right now, that's worrisome to me. So right now, while he's been on a tear over the last month or 2, it's definitely time to sell him high and try to get a good hitter or a hitter and a pitcher in a deal if someone's real desperate for pitching in your fantasy league. So the last few outings for Castillo, July 11th at the Brewers, 5 1/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 6 walks, 6 Ks, a 1.69 ERA, 1.69 whip. July 17th versus the Brewers again, 6 innings, no decision, 5 hits, 3 walks, 8 Ks, and no runs given up, 1.33 whip, and a quality start. July 24th versus the Cardinals, 7 innings, got the win, 5 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 9 Ks, a 1.29 ERA, and a 1.14 whip with a quality start. So right here, he's gone out there. He's going deep into games. His strikeout numbers have always been pretty good throughout his career. But the thing that worries me is his walks. And he's been walking a lot of batters this season. And that's where you get in trouble. You give up runs, your pitch count goes up, and you don't go deeper into games. So right now, with the inconsistency in the season of Castillo and two different type of pitcher he's been, it's definitely a time to go out there and sell him high while he's on a hot streak. Right now, in the fifth and final pitcher, I'd look to sell high and trade this week's Lance Lynn of the Chicago White Sox. So Lance Lynn, what a season it's been, no doubt about it. For him, 103 and 2/3, 10-3 record, 74 hits, 22 earned runs, 10 homers given up, 32 walks, 115 strikeouts, a 1.91 ERA, 1.02 WHIP, and 11 quality starts in the last couple weeks here for Lynn. 13 innings, 1-0 record, 11 hits, 2 earned runs, a homer, a walk, 10 Ks, a 1.38 ERA, and a 0.92 WHIP with 2 quality starts on the season. So Lance Lynn, he's been one of the best pitchers, obviously, in all of fantasy baseball. And to come this deep into the season here at the end of July with a 1.91 ERA, that's definitely huge numbers. But that's definitely a number that's not going to stick, in my opinion. So while the trade deadline's coming up in the next couple weeks as well here in fantasy baseball, Lance Lynn's definitely a guy you could sell high. And his value's at a skyrocketed pace right now with that ERA. And also the division he's in. The Kansas City Royals aren't that great of a team, obviously. The Twins, they've been selling off a little over the last few weeks, trading Nelson Cruz to Tampa. And I think we'll see more trades down the pipeline in the next couple days here for them. So right there, those are two teams in that division that aren't strong. Detroit, I know they've improved a little, but they're not that great as well. So right here, it's not that great of competition in the Central for Lynn and the White Sox. But we'll see what he does versus other teams within the division and outside of the division. Because right now, the division's definitely helping him out and pitching well. And here is the proof right here. July 7th in Minnesota, 6 innings, got the win, 4 hits, 1 earned run, a homer, 3 walks, 6 Ks, a 1.50 ERA, 1.17 WHIP, and a quality start. July 19th versus the Twins, 7 innings, no decision, 5 hits, 1 earned run, a homer, a walk, 4 Ks, a 1.29 ERA, 0.86 WHIP, and a quality start. And July 25th at the Brewers, 6 innings, got the win, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 6 Ks, a 1.50 ERA, and a 1 WHIP and a quality start. So right now, I just don't see him keeping it up. And I know the division's a big part of him pitching well, but it's not going to last, in my opinion here, for Lance Lynn in fantasy baseball. So if there's a great deal out there, you definitely jump on it and make the trade. So that's a few pitches I look to sell high and trade away here in Week 16 of the fantasy baseball season.